CNN has an incredible report. We'll discuss this in a moment. They broke this story. It's been matched by others. The vice president is hosting an Epstein-a-thon dinner at his home tonight in the Naval Observatory, where they're going to discuss strategy. Now, it's interesting that they're having it. It's interesting that this was leaked out. It's crazy that this is that. Because I'll tell you one thing. JD Vance does a million things a day that are not reported, that are really interesting. And they never leak out. Occasionally they do, but they almost never do, including travel. He leaves Washington. Sometimes it doesn't get reported. I have no idea why this leaked out, but as you'll see here, this is an all-star team of administration officials. The vice president up until now has not been known to be particularly involved in the Epstein matter, at least publicly. But since he's involved in everything, of course he is. Susie Wiles, Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, Kash Patel, all expected at the Naval Observatory, where the vice president talked the other day to the Ruthless Boys about how he and his kids catch fireflies at night sometimes. But anyway, that group will gather. Sean, did that J.D. Vance Epstein dinner leak out on purpose or not?
It's a good question. I gotta think it was not. No, I don't think it was on purpose. If you look at who it went to, when it came out, I don't think JD wants to own this issue. No one wants to be the person that's like, hey, I'll take the hot potato. So I think someone's setting him up.
Yeah, Dan, who had a motive to leak the story?
I don't know, but I want to just flag that it is bonkers that the FBI director, the attorney general, the vice president, chief of staff are having a political meeting about
an issue. It's not a political meeting. It's a policy meeting.
Okay, in which the president of the United States is involved in some capacity.
Yeah, it is bonkers.
I just want to flag that at normal times, what is alleged to be happening here would dominate the news as wholly inappropriate, but it's a different era.
I do think, to your question though, Mark, to me, I always find these fascinating. Who has the most, who's setting up whom? Because I can play this a couple different ways.
I agree.
Pam Bondi's the most on the back foot.
I can't remember. The Naval Observatory can be used for political stuff, right?
It's his home, so yeah.
So that's why they're doing it there, presumably. All right,
but the fact that they're
all right.
Well, first of all, I mean, it is a political matter. It is not if you were actually asking, and of course, I am not a lawyer, but I would argue that this isn't. So where that would be covered would be whether they were trying to raise money off of it, which they're not. So,
but it used to be that stuff was independent, like the FBI.
No. But what I'm saying is, it's a political issue. It is not a political matter, which is where the law.
Not a campaign matter. I can't wait to see the readout of this from this thing. There's some stories out there. I will just say, in closing off Epstein for now, there's some stories out there that say this whole thing is about Donald Trump, and there's stories out there that say the whole thing's about Bill Clinton. And I can tell you that I wouldn't be surprised. Let me put it that way. If there's some back channeling between the two clans. Yes, sir.
One last thing that I'll say, where I think that these guys have got to be careful is that this whole notion of what deal Ghislaine Maxwell may or may not get, I don't think there's any sympathy at all for what she has done and been complicit in allowing to be done. And so anything that they give her in terms of leniency, I don't think will be met well.
I agree. And I will say, I almost want to do one of those countdown clocks. It's day whatever, where there's still no answer as to why they moved her to a minimum security prison. I find that at a time when they're supposed to be fighting for transparency, it's outrageous that we don't have an explanation for that.
Every week, there's a new drip produced by the Trump administration.
Want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two-Way community, never miss a clip. And you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.